May the 4th be with you, everybody. Today I'm doing a new video reviewing Tales of the Underworld. This is a non-spoiler review of the new installment of the Tales series of Star Wars. You know, two and a half years ago we had Tales of the Underworld. Last year we had Tales of the Empire. Or 2.5 years ago we had Tales of the Jedi, then Tales of the Empire. Now it's Tales of the Underworld. I'm excited to talk about this. It's 3 little, 15-minute short episodes about Ventress and 3 little, 15-minute short episodes about Cad Bane. And I think I'm very invested to talk about them. So without further ado, let's get into things. I'm just going to start off with some of my criticisms, and I was just kind of meh on the dialogue on this one. Maybe it's I've been spoiled by Andor, which is just written spectacularly, but dialogue on this kind of hit or miss. Some episodes had, pretty good stuff. Other episodes, the dialogue felt kind of very in your face, on the nose. I guess it is technically a kid's show, Star Wars animation, so I shouldn't complain too much, but every now and then it bugged me a little bit, just some generic stuff. And then the Ventress stuff, it was good. It was a lot of setup. It was a lot of setup for future stuff, and there's definitely some solid storytelling in there, but the big issue we've always had with these Tales series is sometimes it'll be kind of showing a story that everyone's wanted to see for a while, but because of the nature of the show, it feels kind of rushed. That's kind of how I felt about Barriss last year, and it's how I feel a little bit about Ventress's arc this year. Not as bad as how Barriss was rushed last year, and definitely an interesting story, but that's my main criticism there. But onto the pros for the most part. I had a very solid time with a lot of these. The Ventress stuff, I think it was cool seeing her story, finally seeing how she's up and kicking, all things considered. And while I was a little frustrated that it leaves a lot of open ends, if they did find a cool way to continue Ventress throughout future stories, that would be neat, and this is a good way to kind of explain that and kind of set up where the character goes. And there's definitely some very sweet, solid moments. The Ventress episodes consistently have great action with lightsabers and bounty hunters. It's all very, very cool, especially in those first 2. Episode 1 in particular, although it introduces another Inquisitor that is unnamed, which is very frustrating because it feels like Star Wars does that a lot. But yeah, I did enjoy the action in those episodes, and all 6 episodes are animated really, really well. They look great. The lighting and the colors and the characters' design, it's some of the best Star Wars animation we've ever seen. It looks so good, and that just very much helps the Ventress episodes be so much more engaging with their action. And so yeah, Ventress episodes, solid enough stuff, a little rushed, a little, iffy dialogue, but the action's cool, and I'm excited to see where a character goes from here, so very solid stuff. The Cad Bane stuff, I enjoyed a lot. I think a lot. This is the 3rd Tales series in a row where, I went into it with, oh, I want to see a lot more of this character. Oh, but we also have the backstory of this character. I don't know how much I care about that. But that backstory ended up being the best part of the show. So, went with Dooku, went with Morgan Elsbeth, and especially now with Cad Bane. I am happy to have known his backstory now. I think it's really interesting. It adds a lot of layers to the characters. There's a lot of cool Western moments. I like his dynamic with his friend and kind of showing a crappier, more crime-ridden planet and kind of where Cad Bane grew up. I think it's very cool. Not necessarily the most unique, crazy stuff, but there's definitely some cool twists and turns in there, and I think it's very engaging and fun, and I think it's just cool to see Cad Bane's origin story. It kind of ties everything up very nicely. There's no really loose ends, and all works really well. Yeah, Tales of the Underworld, for the most part, very solid, fun Star Wars saga. I mean, the Tales series definitely, in general, it's 45 minutes spending time with the character that kind of jumps around a little bit. So it's always going to be a little bit rushed. There's some character stories that work really well with this and some character stories that don't. And for the most part, I thought this worked pretty solid. I liked it better than Tales of the Empire last year. Not as much as Tales of the Jedi. But I think it still worked very, very well. And I had a good time with it. I thought the Cad Bane stuff was especially good. Dialogue may be rough, but the action and animation make up for it in many ways. So I think I'd give Tales of the Underworld a nice, solid 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the video. Coming up next is my review of Until Dawn. I'll see you all then. Happy May 4th. Bye for now.